The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Game 3 of the series. It is a 4th of July celebration at Community America Ballpark, obviously knowing it's July 3rd, but with the team being on the road tomorrow on July 4th, it's a 4th of July celebration here at the ballpark here tonight. The T-Bones have already taken the first 2 games of the series, looking for a clean sweep with the opportunity for the first time in 2016. So here we go. Let's get your starting lineups. First for the St. Paul Saints at 28 and 15. Leading off is the left fielder Brady Brzezinski. Batting second, the right fielder Brayland Almadova. Batting third, the third baseman is Nate Hansen. Angelo Sanko will serve as the first baseman. He'll bat in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth, the shortstop is Tony Thomas. Alonzo Harris, the center fielder, will bat sixth, as Chad Christensen will bat seventh as the DH. Batting eighth is the catcher Max Garrett, as Sam Moss will round up the order as the second baseman. Brzezinski, Almadova, Hansen, Sanko, Thomas, Harris, Christensen, Garrett, Moss for the Saints. On the mound for Kansas City is the young right-hander in Jared Messer. On the other side for Kansas City at 18 and 24. Batting leadoff in left field is Starlin Rodriguez. Tyler Massey will bat second. He's in center field as Jake Blackwood, the first baseman, bats third. The cleanup hitter and serving as the DH is Anthony Gallis. Batting fifth, the shortstop is Vladimir Frias. Brett Wiley, the second baseman, bats sixth. And batting seventh is the third baseman, Jimmy Mojica. Batting eighth, the right fielder is Dalton Wheat. And another young rookie, the catcher Tyler Moore, bats ninth. Rodriguez, Massey, Blackwood, Gallis, Frias, Wiley, Mojica, Wait, Moore for Kansas City, as they will be opposed by Alec Crawford. So here we go. Let's talk about the young right-hander, Jared Messer. Messer, 2-0, 2.60 ERA. Messer got the win his last time out. He allowed just 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 5 and 8 innings against Lincoln this past Tuesday, as Kansas City would go on to win 6-1. Messer appeared in 2 games, both in relief at St. Paul earlier this year. On May 26th, he gave up 1 walk and struck out 1 in 1 inning of Kansas City's 10-2 win, and a couple days later allowed just 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 2 in 1 inning. Kansas City went on to win that one in 6-4. Overall, in his professional career, in his T-Bones career, he's 10-3 with a 3.7 ERA. First pitch of the game is a fastball down and away to Brady Brzezinski. Brzezinski batting .265, no home runs, 3 RBIs. We are in the 60s on July 3rd. Here's a high pop-up in foul territory that evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. You talk about cool temperatures in July. Rarely do we ever see this in the Midwest. First pitch right at 7:25, so maybe about 20 minutes behind the anticipated scheduled start based on the first game or the second game of the series being finished just prior to the first pitch of this game. That pitch is a bit high, 2-1. Brzezinski batting leadoff as Alonzo Harris dropped down in the order. Here's a big swing and a miss on a changeup. And the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are empty. We have just started. Final game of the series. Kansas City trying to win their 3rd consecutive game of the series. That would equal their first sweep of the season. High chopping ground ball. Blackwood has it ricochet off of his glove. There's no play. That'll be an E3. And Kansas City, who played defensively almost perfect in the first 2 games of the series, starts this game with an E3 to begin it. So a tough hop, but a play that Blackwood has got to make. A real high chopper. It was sinking quickly, and it just kind of glanced off the front of his glove in the middle of no man's land. Messer was already running as hard as he could to first to cover the bag, and Messer then thought about going out for the baseball, but there was just no play anywhere. So a leadoff E3 against Kansas City's Blackwood, and the next pitch is hit to mile into center field. Massey retreating to the warning track. He's got it. As Brzezinski was running on the pitch, he has to go all the way back to first. There's no chance for a tag, and Kansas City's defense makes their first out of the game. Defensively for Kansas City, Moore at the catcher spot, Mojica at third, Frias at short, Wiley at second, Blackwood at first, the outfield left to right, Rodriguez, Massey, Wheat for the second consecutive game of the series. The defense hasn't moved except for the catcher and pitcher spot. Messer trying to be the only pitcher to become perfect outside of Kickham. This pitch is a bit outside. The count is 1-0. Kickham pitched phenomenal on Friday night as Kansas City won the first game of the series. Holman got KC through 5 and 3 runs last night, and then the bullpen finished it today with 4 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Now it's up to the young right-hander Messer to continue his good fortune. He has had 2 starts where he's gone over 7 innings, so he has been really, really good in the rotation. Now with a shortened 7-inning game here, it'll be interesting to see how they protect him and how the bullpen will be used. This pitch off the inside corner, 2-0. Nate Hansen, dangerous hitter, 5 home runs, 33 RBIs. He hits the ball a ton, and he is a gap-to-gap power guy. He is a double play candidate, but rarely does he ground into one. 2-0 pitch is a good curveball for a strike, and the count's 2-1. First baseman Sanko to follow, and you know you don't want anybody on base when he comes up. He's always a dangerous hitter. Had a couple of hits against Kansas City in the second game of the series. Messer checks the runner, works from the stretch. 2-1 pitch is a changeup just off the outside corner, and the count's 3-1. Home plate umpire is Brian Child, and he does not have a pitcher's zone, it appears, here in the first inning. First base umpire Jordan Sandberg, Trent Delmont, the umpire at third. 3 balls and a strike, pickoff attempt at first, and Brzezinski dives back safely. A leadoff error to begin the game, then a routine fly ball to center. So 1 on, 1 out. Heart of the order is at the plate. Kansas City would love to see a ground ball, a chance to turn a double play. Messer's 3-1 pitch, lined to the left center field, dropping quickly. Massey covers it quickly, and only going to second base is Almadova. So Tyler Massey got to that ball in a hurry. So instead of first and third, it's just first and second. But here comes Sanko. So 2 on, 1 out. And in my personal opinion, the most deadliest hitter of them all in this lineup is Angelo Sanko. He's batting just .310. He's got some teammates batting higher than him. He's got 8 home runs. He's got teammates with more than that. And he's got 25 RBIs, which he's not leading his team in that department. But every time he's at the plate, he does not get cheated. Almost every time he'll hit the ball hard. And he is a tough double play candidate. First pitch off the inside corner. Boy, Messer is getting no help from the home plate umpire, Brian Child. That is the 3rd pitch already in the first inning that it appears caught a corner. And the home plate umpire, Brian Child, has not given a single corner to Messer here in the first. And Messer is a pitcher who needs those corners. He doesn't overpower a lot of hitters with the velocity. He is a pitcher. He's not a thrower. Messer from the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. That time did catch the outside corner, and the count is even 1-1. Kansas City is a ground ball possibility from getting out of the first inning. The way the bullpen pitched in the first game earlier today, or the conclusion of the game, second game of the series. You'd like to get Messer through 5. The 1-1 pitch, and it hit him, and talk about a disastrous first inning. An error, a single, and now a hit by pitch. And the bases are loaded for Tony Thomas. So Messer immediately in trouble here in the first inning. And something we saw like yesterday was David Holman allowed 2 runs in the first inning. So Tony Thomas will represent the strikeout batter of the game. But he is a dangerous hitter himself. In fact, in the second game of the series, he was 1 for 4, but he is batting .318 with 9 home runs. And he has 36 RBIs. He is a dangerous, dangerous hitter. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. Change up at 83. And the count's 0-1. Kansas City does not want to fall behind in the first inning again today. Bases are loaded. It all started with an E3. Jake Blackwood, a error at first base to begin the game. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, according to Jordan Sandberg. I don't even know how the pitch missed. And the count's 1-1. There should never even been an appeal. It looked like he caught a ton of the strike zone. And once again, a hitter zone. Not at all a pitcher zone. Now the 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Messer already at 17 pitches. And only 1 out of the first inning. No score. Bases loaded. How much of a difference would this inning have turned had Blackwood fielded the perfect with a ground ball to start the game? Here's the 2-1 pitch. And a check swing or a foul ball straight back. And the count's 2-2. So Messer trying to pick up his defense. Trying to dig deep and get one of the more dangerous hitters out in this lineup. On deck is the center fielder, Alonzo Harris, who has struggled a lot in the first 2 games of the series. He comes up next. The 2-2 pitch. Line drive into center field. That's a hit. That'll plate at least 2. The throw from Massey will not be cut off. A play at the plate. Out at the plate. Holy cow. Tyler Massey with a perfect strike to the plate. So only 1 run scores. It looked like there would be no way in the world that Nate Hansen would be thrown out at the plate, but he is. And it's an RBI single, but the second out is made at the plate. So Tyler Massey with a strong throw from left center field. Tony Thomas comes up with an RBI. The error turns into a run. And instead of the inning being over, it's just out number 2. And up comes the center fielder Alonzo Harris, who takes a fastball inside for a ball. So 20 pitches in the first inning already for Messer. And he still needs another out. The Saints have a run on 2 hits, and the T-Bones have committed an error, something they did not do at all in the first 2 games of the series. Now the next pitch, broken blooper to left. Here comes Starlin Rodriguez. They have a play at the plate. Strong throw at the plate. A collision, and he's out at home. Back-to-back outfield assists at the plate. And this time it's Angelo Sanko gunned at the plate. Tyler Moore was absolutely leveled at the plate as Sanko lowered his shoulder and just absolutely railroaded the young rookie catcher. But he holds on all the way, and the T-Bones defense gets Jared Messer out of a jam after it started with a defensive miscue. After half of an inning, a ton of excitement. The Saints have a run. The T-Bones coming up on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We head to the bottom of the first inning. Nathan Moore back with you. 1-0 Saints with the lead. And a lot of excitement in the top of the first inning. It all started with an error. And it looked like the defense might be a big problem area for Kansas City in the final game of the series. But it ends with back-to-back base hit outs at the plate. So outfield assists for Tyler Massey and Starlin Rodriguez. And if you thought that anything could fire up a team, well, it's going to be possibly the defense, Kansas City, especially their catcher, Tyler Moore, who was just absolutely railroaded at home plate by Angelo Sanko. Dave Schaub, the third base coach for Kansas City, was out of the dugout when Sanko lowered the shoulder, as if he was about ready to jump into a brawl. You had Brian Erie at the top of the steps as he was about ready to, looks like, having some extracurricular activities. Now a ground ball to third. Hansen bobbles it, recollects over to first, and the Saints get a 5-3 putout to begin the bottom of the first inning. So bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Saints. They scored 1 run on 3 hits. 2 outs were made at home plate. But that 1 run will be unearned because that 1 runner that did score was given the base free of charge on the E3 charge to Jake Blackwood. Now it's up to the offense. Attack Alec Crawford, who has struggled this year. 1-3 record, 9.25 ERA. Anytime your ERA starts with a 9, that means you allow at least 1 run per inning you pitch. That's not good. More on him in just a little bit. The 1-0 pitch and a pop foul and a play off the bat of Massey. Alec Crawford, right-hander, went 5 innings and allowed 6 runs on 8 hits last Tuesday in a loss against Sioux Falls. He did pitch against Kansas City back on May 28th. He allowed 4 hits on 1 run. In an inning and a third, a bomb to right field. Back goes Almadova, his back against the wall, and he hauls it in. So Tyler Massey absolutely unloaded on a pitch all the way to the right center field area. And Almadova, with his back against the wall, makes the catch. And out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Kansas City. And up comes the first baseman, Jake Blackwood. Now Blackwood, who committed that costly error in the first inning, the top of the first inning, will look to redeem himself with the bat in the first inning. 7 home runs, 36 RBIs, and the first pitch up and in for a ball at 87 miles an hour. So Crawford allowing 1 run per inning pitched, higher than that. It has not been a kind season so far. Next pitch inside again, and it's 2-0. On the season, Alec Crawford has started 4 games. Tonight is his 5th. He has thrown 24 innings and has allowed 25 runs. Fastball swung on and missed, 2-1. In 24 innings, he has allowed a combined 44 base runners, so almost 2 base runners per inning. He has struck out 13. Batters are batting .314. So not one good number, really, to say about Alec Crawford. This pitch is fouled off, and the count's 2-2. As a team, the Saints' team ERA 4.5. Kansas City's is a 5.1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1-0 lead Saints, bottom of the first, in a 7-inning game. This pitch bounces in front of the plate, and the count's full 3-2. Kansas City at 18-24. They're 6 games back of the 500 mark. The Saints at 28-15 as they've lost their 2nd consecutive game to Kansas City. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and Blackwood down the left field line. It's a fair ball into the corner. Blackwood on his way to second base. He has to hold with a single. It's a 350-foot single to left field. Brzezinski played it very well off the facing of the wall. And Blackwood was looking for a double off the bat, but Brzezinski got kind of a friendly roll, went down, picked it up, and a strong throw to second. I believe if Blackwood had gone for a double, he would have been thrown out at second. So a wise decision. And now it'll bring up Anthony Gallis, who has homered twice in the series, tied with the team lead with 7 homers. Blackwood, the other one, with 7. And the first pitch to Gallis is a called strike on the outside corner. So Brian Child with that last strike call on the outside corner is hearing it from the Kansas City side because Messer never got a friendly call like that. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a smash to left, but right at the left fielder who goes down to a knee and makes the catch. So Gallus hit it hard, but right at the left fielder. And Kansas City cannot score in their first inning. We head to the second, 1-0 Saints on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We head to the second inning. Nathan Moore back with you, live at Community America Ballpark in Kansas City, Kansas. Kansas City trails St. Paul 1-0 as we begin play in the second inning. 7, 8, 9 batters, Christensen, Garrett, and Moss will go against Kansas City starting pitcher Jared Messer, who looks to have a much more efficient first inning. Have to wonder how that first inning would have gone had Kansas City not committed that error to begin the game. Could have been a lot worse. Kansas City had two phenomenal throws, one by Massey, one by Rodriguez, as the two final outs of the inning were recorded with outfield assists at the plate. So the Saints, obviously, they feel like they were robbed in the first inning. They thought they should have had at least 3 runs. First pitch, breaking ball is low for a ball. I'll tell you, when Sonko lowered his shoulder and absolutely just leveled Tyler Moore at the plate, that fired up this team, Kansas City's team, instantaneously. I mean, they had guys out on the top step who were looking to brawl, it appeared. 2-0 pitch is low, and it's 3-0. Now Messer falling behind 3-0, which is what you want to see from your teammates. They were coming to battle for the young rookie behind the plate. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's a strike, 82 miles an hour. So I feel like this game could have a lot of excitement before it's all said and done. We've already had a lot of excitement in the first inning. 3-1 pitch, ground ball, shortstop, Frias off-balance throw to first, in the dirt, scooped by Blackwood, and the out is made. So Frias kind of threw it a lot quicker than he needed to, threw it off balance, something we see very typically on a nightly basis. And Blackwood has become a very good defensive first baseman, scooped it perfectly, and the first out is made in this inning. I will keep reminding that this game is a 7-inning game, which is important. Here's a high pop-up. Will it stay in play? Blackwood in foul territory on the track, makes the catch, and Max Garrett is out on one pitch. That is a big out. Messer needed a quick out, and he got one there, so 2 up, 2 down. And up comes the second baseman, Sam Moss. So Kansas City needed, they received a quick out. And we'll see how the second baseman, Sam Moss, approaches his at-bat. Moss struggling, just batting 184. No home runs, 4 RBIs. Righty versus righty, and Messer's first pitch misses somewhere. Boy, this zone and the first 2 innings on Jared Messer just seems cruel and unusual punishment. Messer from the windup, the 1-0 pitch is right there for a strike. Same spot, this time it's a strike. One ball, one strike. Messer trying to have a perfect first inning of the night here in inning number 2. Here's a breaking ball a bit low. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. Sam Moss trying to get the Saints another base runner here in the second frame. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That time, got the outside corner. Off speed pitch, and the count's 2-2. That was the 31st pitch of the game for Jared Messer. A very lengthy first inning. He is trying to come back for an opportunity to pitch a quick second. The next pitch is a pop foul out of play to the right side. Long run. Wheat not giving up on it. It's way out of play, but how about the effort of the young right fielder Dalton Wheat? We could tell from this angle that it was definitely well out of play, but Dalton Wheat, a young player who doesn't take anything for granted, and he was off and running as he was going to make every attempt to make the catch. Just had no room to make it. 2-2 pitch, and this time the off-speed stays up. And so from a count in favor of Messer, now it goes the distance. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the second, 1-0 Saints the lead. Final game of the series. Kansas City has won the first 2 games of the series. 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging. A nasty breaking ball for a strikeout. First strikeout of the game. Messer has a perfect 1-2-3 second. We head to the bottom of the second. Kansas City trailing 1-0 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 lead for the Saints. Back out on the mound is Alec Crawford. Kansas City in the inning will send up their 5, 6, 7 hitters, Vladimir Frias, Brett Wiley, and Jimmy Mojica. Kansas City had a 2-out base hit in the first inning, nothing further. We will see how the T-Bones respond here in inning number 2 as they trail 1-0. The T-Bones in this salute July 4th. Vladimir Frias, Brett Wiley, Jimmy Mojica. The jerseys tonight, kind of like an American flag on the tops for Kansas City, white pants. The Saints, gray tops, gray pants. Vladimir Frias with 4 RBIs in the second game of the series, fouls off the first pitch. Frias now batting .231, couple of home runs, 14 RBIs. Kansas City looking for their second hit of the game, looking for their first base runner here in inning number 2. Crawford winds and delivers, and a pitch that was way outside, never once was in the zone, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. Crawford trying to completely turn around his season. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, caught the corner, and the count's 1-2. The Saints believe that he will turn the corner. Crawford, 6'2", 205 pounds from Iowa. Wilton, Iowa. Last year was pitching for Asheville. Here's a high pop-up. Shallow left field. Brzezinski is there, puts it away for out number 1. So Vladimir Frias is out, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Brett Wiley. Wiley got Kansas City the lead in the 6th inning. He had a leadoff double, came around to score. Kansas City would win game 2 of the series 6-3. We finished that game roughly about an hour ago. Alec Crawford has 4 outs on 17 pitches. Here's the pitch, and Wiley takes a strike. No Brandon Tierney again today, so 3 consecutive games we have not seen Brandon Tierney. Tierney has played some second base. Wiley has more experience over there, and he is swinging a hot bat into right field for a hit. So Wiley coming into that at bat, batting .276, has a 1-out single to right, and the T-Bones have a runner aboard. Third baseman Jimmy Mojica will come up, runner at first, 1 out. Mojica, right-handed third baseman, batting back in the number 7 spot for Kansas City. Numbers are skewed with a short amount of bats, but he is batting .625. And the first pitch swinging, fouls it away. Crawford has not shown any velocity. A lot of off-speed pitches, a lot of breaking pitches. And without the full history of Alec Crawford, that may have been what his problems have been, is with his fastball, and so he is trying to stay away from a fastball. We have not seen it very often in this game, at least. Wiley, a really good base runner, small lead at first, not running. There is a fastball on the inside corner at 85, and the count's 0-2. Really nice crowd here tonight. Final game of the homestand. Kansas City will be in South Dakota tomorrow night. 3-game series against the Canaries. The Canaries have struggled this year after a very good start. Hopefully, Kansas City will be taking a 3-game winning streak with them tomorrow morning on the road to South Dakota. The 0-2 pitch. Line down the right field line. It's a fair ball heading into the corner. Mojica has an extra base hit. Wiley to third, and Kansas City has second and third, 1 out of the second. Red hot Jimmy Mojica coming in strong for Kansas City. So all he does is hit the baseball right now. The 1-out single, Wiley moves first to third. Mojica easily checks in at second base with a double. Kansas City now has 3 hits, and up comes Dalton Wheat. So Mojica was batting .625 before that at bat, and looked like he was somewhat fooled by an off-speed pitch and just kind of reached out and slapped it into the right field corner. He picked up a double, and now Kansas City looking for their first run of the game. First pitch to Wheat. Good swing on a fastball and fouled it back. Dalton Wheat, 11 RBIs. He is still batting a .378. He is swinging a very hot bat. 1-0 Saints. We're in the bottom of the second. A 7-inning game to wrap up the series. Infield is in on the corners. Swing and a miss, and boy, Wheat may have helped Crawford there. 0-2. On deck is the young catcher Tyler Moore. Kansas City would love to see Wheat put it in play to get that first run across. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, fly ball, left center field. This should get 1 run in perhaps. Tagging at third. Catching the baseball is Harris. In to score Wiley. It's a sacrifice fly, and it's tied at 1. So Dalton Wheat with the sacrifice fly. It's an RBI, RBI number 12. Brett Wiley comes in to score. Mojica stays at second as the throw from Harris went to third. And the game is tied at 1 here in the second inning. It'll bring up the catcher Tyler Moore. He tagged out 2 batters at the plate in the top of the first inning, and he took a vicious collision at the plate to hold on to the second and or the third out at the plate in the first. Let's see if he can help himself and his team out with a base hit. Looking in the pitch. Inside for a ball. Runner at second base is Jimmy Mojica. A 1-out double that moved Wiley into third. Now Moore, a little nubber, back to the pitcher. Crawford will flip it to first, and the inning is over on a 1-3 putout. But a couple of hits and a timely sacrifice fly, and the T-Bones have tied it in the second. We head to the third. 1-1 tie on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Nathan Moore back with you, top of the third inning. Back at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. 4th of July weekend. Tomorrow will be the 4th of July. A lot of activities I'm sure will be taking place tonight as the 4th will be represented off for most families tomorrow. Brady Brzezinski, Breland Almadova, and Nate Hansen. 1-2-3 hitters due up in the third. Messer has allowed one unearned run in 2 innings. He has thrown 34 pitches. Brady Brzezinski reached and scored on an error in the first inning. It was a ground ball to Blackwood at first. Blackwood had it deflect off of his glove. This time, Brzezinski was not hitting it to Blackwood. He was looking for the right field corner and fouls it away. 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Good breaking ball, good scoop by Moore. It's a bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield straight away. Pretty shallow in the center field is Massey. Corner outfielder's pretty deep. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And it sails a bit outside. 2 balls and a strike. About even at third base is Mojica. Blackwood way behind the bag at first. Wiley on the outfield grass at second. 2-1 pitch and a foul ball straight back. That evens the count 2-2. Messer, who has been very, very good since he's been reinserted into the rotation, trying to hold firm to that rotational spot. Now the 2-2 pitch. A little check swing liner to third. Mojica in perfect position to make the catch, and the first out is made here in inning number 3. 1 up, 1 down. Up comes the right fielder, Breland Almadova. He is 0 for 1. He lined out to Massey in the first inning. First pitch right through there, called strike. Messer trying to work away from his fastball. He's pitching in reverse. A lot of off-speed pitches, a lot of breaking pitches. Then he goes to the fastball. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Good off-speed pitch again and a called strike. 0-2. Almadova batting .250. 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. Now what will Messer come up with the number 2 hitter in this lineup? The 0-2 pitch. Off speed again, smothered in the dirt by Tyler Moore, and the count's 1-2. 3-game road trip beginning tomorrow night in South Dakota. We'll be in Sioux Falls. Very quick trip. Probably catch up with our old friend Chris Regas. He's living in South Dakota. 1-2 pitch, a little nubber in front of the plate. Now they're going to say it was off of his foot. Home plate umpire Brian Child says he was in the batter's box when he hit his foot. So it's a dead ball, and the count is 1-2 still. Almadova was helping the umpire to sell it that he was in the batter's box. Had that ball touched him out of the batter's box, he would have been ruled out. More of a shift here now as Massey a little bit more shaded toward right field. 1-2 pitch, thought about swinging, and the curveball's in the dirt, 2-2. Jimmy Mojica way back at the third base bag, now kind of walking back closer to third base. Now drops back a couple more steps. The 1-2 pitch is fouled away. Line straight off of the screen behind home plate. A very healthy crowd here tonight. Final game of the homestand. Kansas City wants it to be a clean sweep homestand. Much better than the previous homestand when Kansas City was swept in a 4-game series by Fargo. 1-2 pitch. Change up outside, and the count's full 3-2. Now the 3-2 pitch. Fastball missed somewhere. Well, it looked like it caught the outside corner, and once again, this strike zone tonight is the size of a thimble. Jared Messer is asking where in the world the ball possibly might have missed, and now Tyler Moore trying to calm him down from behind the plate. Not rewarded for throwing strikes in this game. That is just the first walk of the game issued by Jared Messer, and one might have the approach of taking 2 strikes before even swinging the bat with the size of the strike zone tonight. Nate Hansen comes up. Very dangerous hitter. Already singled once in this game, then he was thrown out at the plate. Same exact spot, this time as a strike to start off the at-bat. So that was not good enough for a third called strikeout on Almadova, but it is good enough for strike 1 on Nate Hansen. Kansas City looking for a ground ball. Possible double play opportunity to end the third. Messer already at 49 pitches. 1 out of the third inning. Well, luckily, this is a 7-inning game for that effect. But he is not having quick outs. And Almadova, a very good base runner, is at first base with immense speed. And, of course, you've got 3 big sluggers coming up. Boom, boom, boom with Hansen, Sanko, and Thomas. And Harris isn't all that bad himself. Breaking ball, popped him up. On the infield, Wiley going out to shallow right on the outfield grass, makes the catch. And out number 2, Almadova has to stay home at first. And now 2 outs, 1 on for Angelo Sanko. First baseman Sanko hit by a pitch in the first inning. He comes up batting left-handed. Kansas City looking for the final out of the third inning. It's tied 1 apiece in the third. Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Pitch in the dirt, and the count is 0-1. If Sanko were to reach, then Tony Thomas would come up. Thomas has the RBI hit back in the first. Another pickoff attempt over to first, and Almadova dives back safely. It probably, in my honest opinion, not really the best interest for the Saints if Almadova runs to second. For a couple of reasons. One, there's a good chance he'll be thrown out. There's a ground ball to the pitcher. Messer fills his position perfectly, and the throw over to first is in time. So a 1-out walk does not hurt Messer in the third. He pitches a scoreless inning for the second consecutive time. We head to the bottom of the third. Game tied at 1 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships, that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Live today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Bottom of the third inning, 1-1 tie. Kansas City looking for a 3-game sweep of the Saints. Nathan Moore back with you at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas on this 4th of July weekend. Kind of a nasty weekend in regards to weather. Yesterday it just rained and rained and rained some more. Only got 4.5 innings of baseball in last night. That game was finished today where Kansas City won 6-3. Warning track is still heavily saturated with water. Not very much visible water, but you know it is soaked into the dirt. But today, never once seeing the sun, and it's been hiding behind the dark, dark clouds all day. A very hazy day. First pitch to Rodriguez is a bit inside. Here in the third will be Rodriguez, Massey, Blackwood for Kansas City. They look to take their first lead of the game. Each team with 3 hits. Each team with a run. 1-0 pitch, fly ball to center, playable for Harris. And Alonso will make the catch in center field for the first out. Rodriguez is 0 for 2. So very quickly, 2 pitches into the inning, 1 out is made, and up comes the center fielder, Tyler Massey. Crawford has thrown 20 pitches fewer than Messer, and obviously he has 2 fewer outs collected. First pitch to Massey on the way, shows a bunt, and takes it a bit outside. Charging hard was the third baseman, Hansen. Obviously a big inning opportunity here for KC. You got the heart of the order coming up. This pitch outside, it's 2-0. Massey gets on board, and Blackwood and Gallus a chance to do their job and try to hit one far and deep. Opportunity to give Kansas City the lead. Massey with 5 home runs, batting .300, and fouls this one straight back. 2-1. Upcoming probable starters, Kansas City in Sioux Falls will throw Josh Tolles tomorrow night, Jordan Cooper on Tuesday night, and then Mike Kickham on Wednesday night. So a very good chance with those 3 starters going for a very good road trip. On paper, that is. Josh Tolles will be making his first start of the year. So Josh Tolles taking the spot into the rotation. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Massey, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good changeup, and Massey is down on strikes. Strikeout number 1 for Crawford, and 2 up, 2 down for Blackwood. This is not the Alec Crawford whose statistics I read to you earlier on. Kansas City 10-13 at home. And the T-Bones trying to up that another run or another win here at home. Blackwood has homered 7 times. Here's the pitch. And takes one a bit low. Crawford gave up a base hit to Blackwood his last time up. He hit one off the wall in left field. A big shift in the outfield. A lot of room on the right side of the outfield. And a high pop-up into the seats. And the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. Crawford and the defense, obviously knowing that Blackwood pulls the ball a lot, does not go opposite field all that often. The infield only has 1 defender on the right side of the infield. That is Sanko, way off the bag at first. If Blackwood puts the ball to the right side, he'll walk into a base But instead, a one-hopper to Thomas at short, and the inning is over. So there is why the shift was deployed. 1-2-3 inning for Crawford in the third. We head to the fourth. 1-1 tie on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the fourth inning. Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark. Tied at 1 as we head to the fourth. Final game of the series. Final game of the homestand. Kind of a lot of back and forth series. Kansas City at Lincoln for 3, home for 3, Sioux Falls for 3, home for 3. This one's a smash into left field. It's off of the fence. Rodriguez plays it pretty perfectly off of the fence. The throw to second base is late. And Tony Thomas has a leadoff double to start the fourth inning. So the very first pitch of the fourth inning, Jared Messer allows a leadoff double. And the Saints have the potential go-ahead runner on base to lead off the fourth. And in scoring position for Alonzo Harris, who just so happens to be a very, very good bunter and extremely quick. They will hold the runner in up the middle. Alonzo Harris, already 1 for 1, does not show a bunt and takes a little bit inside for a ball. Kansas City expecting a bunt as Mojica is in on the third base side. Back is Blackwood at first. That would mean Messer has to field the right side of the infield. Here's a check swing. He definitely looked like he went. There's no appeal, and the count's 2-0. Now they will appeal, but 10 seconds after the fact, and Jordan Sandberg said no swing, and the count's 2-0. 1-1 tie. We're in the fourth. A very shortened game by a couple of innings. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Way inside. The count's 3-0. Bottom third of the order is coming up, followed by Christensen. Alonzo Harris is a very, very quick individual. Batting .256. He has moved out of the sixth spot. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And the outside corner given to Messer, and the count's 3-1. Alonzo Harris, in Game 2 of the series, went 0 for 4 as his average has fallen to .251, but he is 1 for 1 in this game, and that's raised his average 5 points to .256. Tony Thomas, on the other hand, in Game 2, went 1 for 4, and he is already 2 for 2 in this game, so the shortstop has had a good offensive series. 3 balls and a strike. Messer brings it in. Called strike on the outside corner. So all of a sudden the zone behind the plate appears to be moving a bit. This time moving toward more of a pitcher zone, and the counts goes from 3-0 to 3-2. Messer could really use a strikeout or something on the infield that does not move the runner. The 3-2 pitch and a ground ball left side into left field for a hit. They will not test the arm of an outfielder anymore. Holding up at third base is Tony Thomas, and on a 3-2 pitch, it's a base hit. Harris is now 2 for 2, and Messer is in a load of trouble here in the fourth inning. Back-to-back hits, and the Saints have runners on the corners and nobody out for Chad Christensen, who is 0 for 1. 5 hits for the Saints so far, and nobody has been recorded out in the fourth inning. Action in the bullpen now for Kansas City. Some light stretching. Nobody has begun to throw yet. Messer now at 59 pitches through 3+ innings. Not a very efficient evening for him on the mound. Not something we're not used to seeing. He's been highly efficient in all of his previous starts. Tonight is Messer's 4th start. His prior 3 have been fantastic. First pitch to Christensen, misses outside for a ball. Double play depth up the middle. Corner infielders possibly looking back to the plate. Harris, a very quick runner at first. He is not going to be easy to double up. In fact, he takes off running. They throw to second and safe at second base. So Tyler Moore with a good throw, but Harris is just too quick. And the count is 2-0. So a leadoff double. Then Messer fell behind 3-0 to Alonzo Harris. He would single. And now Messer has fallen behind 2-0 on Chad Christensen. The pitch is a swing and a miss on a fastball, and the count's 2-1. Messer has got to find a way to get something out on the infield where the Saints can't take advantage of it. More importantly, though, Kansas City needs to find an out. Nobody out, 2 runners in scoring position. The count in the favor of the Saints. The 2-1 pitch. Lined into center field. Massey coming in. This will not be an easy play. He makes the catch. Strong throw to the plate and safe at the plate. This time Massey's throw was up the first base line, and he had a lot of air underneath it, so it didn't get there quick enough. Harris does stay at second base as Tony Thomas comes in to score on the sacrifice fly RBI. So the good news is the Saints do not move up both runners. So now 1 out finally is in the books, and up comes the catcher Max Garrett, who popped out in foul territory to Blackwood his first time up. Garrett batting .209, first pitch on the way. Checked to swing, but a called strike anyway, and the count's 0-1. If Messer can get out of this inning by allowing just the 1 run, it would be a big momentum boost for Kansas City as they trail 2-1 at the moment. Messer looking in, has the sign. The 0-1 pitch is hammered to deep left field. Garrett, who only had 1 home run all season, adds his second. It is now 4-1 St. Paul. It's a 3-run 4th inning. And Jared Messer, who had 3 quality starts before today, that has gone out the window. So the bottom of the order is thriving on Messer in this inning. 5, 6, 7, 8 hitters have all had quality at bats. It's now 4-1, so the Saints have themselves their first good lead of the series. And now up comes the number 9 hitter, Sam Moss. And the first pitch is a strike. That's a very difficult home run to swallow. Max Garrett has really been not at all an offensive contributor at all this entire season for the Saints. Batting right at 200 with no power. But he just unloaded on his 2nd home run of the year to deep left center field, and it was a no-doubter. Now this pitch is popped foul to play. 0-2 on Moss, who struck out in the 2nd inning. So Messer, you could tell, In the first and the third and now the fourth, he did not have his best stuff on a very tight strike zone, and he has hung up some couple of pitches, and Kansas City paying the price. 0-2 pitch, caught the corner this time. It's a strikeout, the second strikeout of the night. Both of them have gone to Moss. Out number 2 is recorded, and that'll bring up the left fielder Brady Berzinski, who's batting for the third time in 4 innings. 4-1 St. Paul. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The Saints are trying to take away any chance of a sweep for the T-Bones tonight. First pitch swinging is pulled foul to the right side. 4-1 Saints. 1 in the first, 3 in the 4th. Kansas City tied it in the second. T-Bones against Alec Crawford, who has just been really, really bad statistically pointing this year, has kept Kansas City in check with just 1 run on 3 hits and 3 innings. They have not done anything against the right-hander. They will need to figure it out soon as they trail by 3 at the moment. Messer, though, needs to get the final out. And a 1-1 pitch is pulled foul off the tarp and will roll all the way down to the corner, and that will force Dalton Wheat to come in from right field to pick up the foul ball. One ball, 2 strikes on Brady Berzinski, a .250 hitter, and no home runs, 3 RBIs. We're now at 8:30. Here's the 1-2 pitch and a foul ball. So right at an hour into the game, and a game that was moving a pretty good clip, kind of hitting the pause button here in the top of the 4th. The stadium has gone dead. Fans not really getting into it as much as they were before the home run. This one way inside, 2-2. So all the energy, all the excitement has been ripped away from this crowd. It'll be up to the offense to get the crowd back into the game. Full count, 3-2 on Berzinski. Messer delivers and a fly ball foul again. This is a very lengthy battle, and Messer now at 75 pitches, not through 4 innings. Messer might be lucky if he gets the 5th inning. He has been a guy in the rotation who has saved the bullpen a lot. Here's the 3-2 pitch and another foul ball. Tonight, it will be the bullpen saving him. And Lincoln, in his last start, that was on Tuesday night, he almost went the distance, almost completed a complete game. He went 8 innings, did not allow a run. 3-2 pitch. Line drive, left center field. It will drop down in front of Massey for a hit. And Berzinski is on base for the second time. And then Messer continues to get hit here in the 4th inning, and that will cause Bill Sobey, the pitching coach, to come out and talk with the young right-hander. Messer faced 6 batters in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the third. Here in this inning, he has already faced 6. He'll be facing his 7th. 4 runs on 7 hits. No errors for Kansas City's defense. But for the KC offense, 1 run on 3 hits. Bill Sobey, a long conversation with Messer as now he'll face the right fielder, Breland Almadova. Just based off of the numbers in general, you would think that Kansas City is eventually going to get to Alec Crawford. You just kind of get that feeling that they're going to get to him eventually. They're going to get some good hits. But you got to keep the score in reasonable fashion. Right now you trail by 3 and a foul ball straight back. Kansas City with only 7 innings tonight. Don't forget that. We're not doing the full 9, so that takes away 6 outs from your offense. So the larger the hole, obviously the biggest, highest difficulty to climb back. 0-1 pitch is another foul ball. That is 9 foul balls in the last 10 pitches, and they are just working Messer's pitch count up. He is now at 79 pitches. His next, obviously, will be his 80th. That is 20 pitches per inning. That is not efficient. You want to see that between 12 and 15 if possible. The 0-2 pitch, a chopper right back to Messer. Fields his position, throws to first, and the inning is over. But not before 3 runs come across to score. The big hit was the 2-run home run by Max Garrett, only his 2nd home run of the year. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's now 4-1 St. Paul on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Live today wealthy.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Nathan Moore back with you live at Community America Ballpark, Kansas City, Kansas. The Saints have a 4-1 lead. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 batters. Gallus, Frias, Wiley for KC in the 4th. See how Anthony Gallus approaches his 2nd at bat of the night. 0 for 1, lined out in the 1st inning, and the first pitch over his head to the backstop for a ball. That is an eye-opener. Anthony Gallus probably not at all appreciative of that. This one is hit a mile down the left field line, but foul, and the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a ground ball pulled foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes on Anthony Gallus. Kansas City trails by 3. We're in the 4th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, guided to the shortstop. Off the shoulders of Thomas, but he has time, and his throw to first is in time. That is the 2nd time in this game a St. Paul defender did not overreact. They had an error all locked up. But they reflected perfectly. They got back up, did not overreact, and just threw the baseball to the proper bag, and they have filled it nicely into today's game. On retrospect, Kansas City still cannot get a hold of Alec Crawford. The guy coming into the day averaging 2 base runners per inning against him and averaging more than 1 run per inning against him. He has allowed 1 run in 3 1/3 innings. First pitch to Frias is a ball. Right-hander looking in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Frias behind the 86-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The wind blowing in from left field, about 10 to 15 miles an hour. That did not hold back Max Garrett's 2-run homer in the 4th. The 1-1 pitch shows the bunt, almost hit him, and the count's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Kansas City needs base runners. They have not had a base runner on since the 2nd. Now the 2-1 pitch. Little blooper into right field. No! Caught by Sanko. A fine defensive grab by Angelo Sanko. He jumped as high as he possibly could and just took a base hit away from Vladimir Frias. A very nice defensive play. It looked like a for sure single to right, and Sanko reaching as high as he could, able to use his entire frame. And he used all of 6'1" to spread out and make the catch. So 2 up, 2 down, and Crawford is looking like a Cy Young candidate in this game. He has allowed just 3 hits and 3 2/3. Now the first pitch, a strike to Wiley, who is 1 for 1 with a run scored. No strikeouts, but one strikeout for Crawford. Ground ball to first and another quick inning. Kansas City will go down 1-2-3 in the 4th. So no offensive life, at least so far for Kansas City. We head to the 5th, 4-1 St. Paul on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Well, Kansas City, unfortunately, does not get 5 innings from the young right-hander Jared Messer. So Messer only goes 4 innings tonight. He allows 4 runs in 4 innings. So that's his worst start of the year for Kansas City. He came into tonight going 3 starts, a 2.60 ERA. He only allowed 25 hits in 34 innings, but tonight he allows 4 runs in 4 innings. So Messer's day is done, and Kansas City will now turn to the bullpen. And Brett Zawacki, 6'1", 200-pounder, right-hander from Illinois. And he will just look to get some work in, possibly pitch a couple of innings perhaps, and try to keep this deficit right where it is. A 4-1 game in favor of St. Paul. A 7-inning game. We're in the bottom of the 4th, or the top of the 5th, rather. It will be 3, 4, 5 hitters. Hanson, Sanko, Thomas here in the 5th inning. St. Paul with a run in the 1st, 3 in the 4th. Kansas City's only run came in the 2nd. Nate Hanson, 1 for 2, singled in the 1st, popped out in the 3rd. He was also thrown out at the plate in the 1st inning off of a perfect throw from Tyler Massey. 2 outfield assists in this game by the Kansas City defense, or it could have been significantly worse. 4 runs, 3 earned runs charged to Jared Messer in this game. Now it's up to the bullpen and the offense if the team wants any chance of coming back into the game. First pitch, breaking ball way low, way outside, but swung on and missed. And Hanson down to the count 0-1. Zawacki has really had some tough outings here of late as he comes into the game, trailing by 3. We'll tell you his numbers in a second. Another check swing way outside of the zone again, but swung on and missed. So 0-2. Hansen really fooled by Zawacki. Zawacki, no wins, 3 losses. 17th appearance, 9.64 ERA. That's the highest amongst any of the Kansas City pitchers. In 23 innings, Zawacki has allowed 32 hits, 25 earned runs. He has walked 12, struck out 24, but batters are batting .323. So they've had a lot of success against the young right-hander in his first year in Kansas City. Zawacki last year pitched for Gateway. 1-2 pitch, and it's fouled off. Zawacki, 6'1", 200 pounds. Had a birthday in the past in May. Defense straight up, no shift of any kind, so is the infield. A lot more participants starting to head to the berm area in right field as they will anticipate the fireworks after the game. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Nate Hansen. Zawacki threw 5 pitches to Nate Hansen. Not one of them was a strike, but he did strike out. And now 1 up, 1 down in the 5th inning, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Angelo Sanko. So Sanko will come up. 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the first inning. He also grounded out to the pitcher in the 3rd. Zawacki looking for the 2nd out of the 5th. And the pitch on the way. Sanko takes a strike. Sanko, good defensive play in the bottom of the 4th, robbing a hit away from Vladimir Frias. A little bit more of a shift now. The left fielder Rodriguez more toward left center, and Massey shaded toward right. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one misses outside. Kansas City's pitchers obviously not wanting to throw very many fastballs to a team that feasts heavily with the power numbers. One ball, 1 strike in the pitch. Big swing and a miss on an off speed, and the count's 1-2. So Zawacki coming in, completely fooling the Saints offense so far. They are not timing him at all. The release point obviously getting into their head. They have been looking foolish so far in the 5th. Zawacki way ahead, and now Sanko calls time. Sanko, left-handed first baseman, twirls the bat a couple of times. Zawacki looks in, and the 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Home plate umpire Brian Child kind of flinching a bit behind home plate. One out, bases empty. We're in the 5th. 7-inning game here to finish the series and finish the homestand. Now the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball that is hammered to right, but well foul and out of play. Angelo Sanko does not get cheated. That is to put it lightly. Sanko with 8 home runs, 25 driven in. Another Zawacki 2-2 pitch is inside. 3 count, 3-2 now as the count has gone the distance. The T-Bones have already established back-to-back winning series. They are looking for their first and only sweep of the year. 3-2 pitch and a foul ball. Boy, between Messer and Zawacki, they are having a lot of difficulty getting quick outs. The Saints are just making the pitchers work harder and harder and harder every inning. Zawacki has faced 1 batter working on a second. He has already thrown 12 pitches. Now another 3-2 pitch and a walk. Messer's final line, 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs. He walked 1, struck out 2. He threw 78 pitches. So Zawacki strikes out the first, now walks the next hitter. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Tony Thomas, who's 2 for 2. Saints led in the first. Kansas City tied it in the second. But then a 3-run fourth inning for the Saints, really giving some separation to the game. Double play depth up the middle. Pitch to Thomas, and he almost hit him. Zawacki was one of the relievers right away out of the gate. He was a guy that Kansas City used in a lot of close game situations. Really put in a lot of pressure situations, but here over the last 2 to 3 weeks, Kansas City has really taken that role away from him, just trying to get him back into the confidence realm of the game. He is pitching in less pressure situations. Another pitch way inside 2-0. He is working very, very slow. He has no pace. There's not a lot of aggressiveness on the mound, and you can just kind of see that uneasiness when he's on the mound. At the beginning of the season, he had that kind of bulldog approach. That has now gone away. 2-0 pitch is pulled foul, and the count's 2-1. That's why with time, you'll always hear me really applaud the quickness of Messer. Kickham does it as well. Aaron Baker works pretty quick. Haynes works pretty quick. And just imagine that those are 4 of the pitchers who have had, to be honest, the most success. DeLuca works very, very quick. Just don't think too much. Just get up and throw the best stuff. Attack the spot. Trust your defense. Runner goes, and this pitch is hit high into the air. Left field into foul territory, and it will just be foul and out of play. And the count now 2-2. But when you're throwing 20 to 25 pitches per inning, you put the defense to sleep where the defense is pretty much useless. You've taken the crowd, if you're at home, completely out of the game. There's just no tempo, no rhythm. It just kills the excitement of a game. Now Zawacki back set again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sanko leaning towards second, not running. And a pitch that misses outside. Ball 3, 3-2. 1 out in the 5th inning. Zawacki has now thrown 18 pitches. One perfectly placed ground ball. The T-Bones get out of it. Runner goes. 3-2 pitch and another walk. So back-to-back walks here in the 5th inning. So a strikeout right out of the bullpen, and now back-to-back walks. And now that'll bring up the center fielder Alonzo Harris, who is 2 for 2. Not much that any defense can do when there's not a ball put in play. A strikeout followed by back-to-back walks. Alonzo Harris singled in the 4th, singled in the 1st. Here's the pitch. And a little popper, shallow right, backing out is Wiley. He's going to make the catch. And Sanko is off and running. They've got him doubled off of second base. And the inning is over. So Sanko was going home run or bust. He was off and running. And Wiley makes a phenomenal basket catch in a shallow right field, and it saves Kansas City in the 5th. So a pop-up double play that goes pop 4, 4-6. Sango out at second as the T-Bones turn an unconventional double play to end the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Still 4-1 in favor of the Saints on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Bottom of the fifth inning, Kansas City trailing 4-1, looking for their first sweep opportunity of 2016. They need at least 3 runs to come back and tie it. They've got 9 outs to work with. It all starts with Jimmy Mojica, who takes a first pitch strike. 7, 8, 9 hitters, Mojica, Wheat, Moore for Kansas City in the fifth. Still going against Alec Crawford, the starting pitcher for St. Paul. Crawford allowing just 1 run on 3 hits tonight. His defense has been perfect. Kansas City's defense committed an error in the first inning. That error turned into a run. However, Kansas City's defense turned a very good defensive double play at the top of the fifth inning to end an inning in which Zawacki had really labored through. Nice pop-up double play by Brett Wiley. This one bounces in front of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Mojica doubled in his only at bat in the game. Doubled in the second. It was a 1-out double. That gave Kansas City a second and third 1-out opportunity, and they did take advantage with a sacrifice fly from Dalton Wheat. Way inside, 3 balls and a strike, 83 miles an hour. Kansas City is hoping that the numbers stay true for Alec Crawford. If that is the case, he is due for some runs here pretty soon. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That was a ball 4, but Mojica eagerly aggressive and swings at ball 4, and the count's full 3-2. So he would have been walked. Now he needs to fight off another one. This time he does take the walk, so Mojica is on. So a leadoff base runner in the fifth. That for Crawford is his first and only walk in the game. So a good start to the inning. Now up comes Dalton Wheat. Sacrifice fly in the second. RBI number 12 on the year. Dalton Wheat, in regards to RBIs, just to tell you how good he has been with RBIs, has the same amount of RBI, or has more RBIs than Wiley, more RBIs than Vladimir Frias. Actually, Frias now leads him by 2. First game of the series earlier today that was concluded. But he is way up there with a lot of full-time regulars, and he has got obviously several fewer at-bats. Only 41 at-bats coming into today, and everybody else around 150, 120. 1-0 pitch, way outside 2-0. So a leadoff walk, and now Dalton Wheat is ahead of the count 2-0. And if you want to believe that Alec Crawford has struggled this year, it's easy to assume because the Saints have the bullpen warming up with a 3-run lead in the 5th. There is not a lot of faith in Crawford. Here's a big swing and a miss, and the count's 2-1. For a team to have their bullpen warming up with their pitcher in the 5th inning and a 3-run lead and only have thrown 55 pitches in the game, that just tells you how much confidence the Saints have in their starter. That is not a lot. Caleb Thielbar is warming up. Here's a pitch outside, and the count's 3-1. Kansas City hoping for back-to-back free passes in the 5th. Then an opportunity for Tyler Moore to drive in a run. Can he find the strike zone? The 3-1 pitch. Nope. Outside ball 4. Back-to-back walks in the 5th inning. And just like that, Kansas City has the tying runner coming to the plate. That will cause the entire infield to come out and have a word with Alec Crawford. A 7-inning game, so Kansas City only has 9 outs to work with on the offensive end. The T-Bones trail by 3. It's 4-1. And the young rookie catcher, Tyler Moore, who got hammered in the 1st inning on the defensive side, will try to be a hero here in the 5th and just try to move the runners around. And might the Saints decide not to keep Crawford in the game. Here comes the skipper. Once again, Alec Crawford has really not had a good year. Came into the game with a 9.25 ERA. That was not because of 1 or 2 innings or 1 or 2 starts. It's because of a complete breakdown of several starts this year. And Alec Crawford is going to come out of the game and only thrown 55 pitches and leaves with a 3-run lead. That is because the Saints know that Crawford has not had a good year. So it's up to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new reliever on the other side of the break. 2 on, nobody out. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
New pitcher, 6 foot, 205-pound Caleb Thielbar from Brookings, South Dakota, comes into the game. Philbar, 2-1 record, 1.65 ERA, pitching his 21st game, 27 innings. In the first pitch, ground ball heading up the middle. Flip to second, nobody there. Everybody safe. Dave Schaub was sending the runner Mojica home from third. Luckily, Mojica didn't see it because Dave Schaub was just aggressively sending Mojica. Had Mojica seen the go sign, he would have been out by a mile. So a blessing that Mojica did not see Dave Schaub's waving around third. That was almost a catastrophe. Kansas City will have another base runner aboard. So Tyler Moore reaches on a little blooper that was dribbling up the middle. Mojica goes to third. Wheat goes to second. Tyler Moore is at first, and Kansas City has the bases loaded. They are ruling that an infield single, so it's a hit for Tyler Moore. Bases are loaded, and nobody out for Starlin Rodriguez, who is 0 for 2. Philbar has allowed now 21 hits in 27 innings, only 6 earned runs. He's walked 5, struck out 21. Batters are batting just .204. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball to short. Double play ball. No! Dropped by the shortstop. A run is in. It's now 4-2. And because of Tony Thomas's drop, it's an RBI ground out. It would have been a double play ball. That is the second consecutive game Tony Thomas has just absolutely dropped a ball at short. So it is a 6-4 fielder's choice RBI for Starlin Rodriguez. Mojica has scored. Dalton Wheat comes in to score. Or goes over to third. 1 run is in the inning. Dalton Wheat is at third. Tyler Moore is out at second base. And now runners are on the corners. 1 out for the center fielder, Tyler Massey. The tying runner is on base. The go-ahead runner at the plate. And Philbar misses low for a ball. So a couple of routine ground balls, or a couple of ground balls to short. Neither one have been fielded properly. And has opened up the door for Kansas City. 4-2 lead. Kansas City still trying for more. And this pitch is high for a ball. 2-0 on Tyler Massey. 1 run is in. First and second, or first and third is the base runners. A count in favor of Tyler Massey as fireworks are going off everywhere. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. Fireworks are literally everywhere, which to be expected on July 3rd, tomorrow being July 4th. Everybody off work tomorrow and celebrate tonight, as to be expected. Philbar's 2-1 pitch is outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Dangerous hitter, Blackwood to follow. 2 walks, an infield single, another RBI ground out has set the table for Kansas City. Can Kansas City add more? The 3-1 pitch is a pop foul out of play, and the count is full 3-2. So now, how aggressive is Kansas City? Tyler Massey, pretty good hitter, batting .298. He has had a phenomenal month of June. Now we're into July. Is Mazin Rodriguez with Blackwood looming, or does Rodriguez stay home at first? Not running. 3-2 pitch, ball 4 on the inside edge. And the bases are loaded. They are staring down the home plate umpire, Brian Child. Welcome to the game, Saints. The T-Bones dealt with this strike zone in the first couple of innings. That is the 3rd walk of the inning. Rodriguez goes to second. Dalton Wheat goes to third. And up comes Jake Blackwood in Kansas City. A possibility of a base hit, they would tie the game. An extra base hit possibly would give them the lead. Good base runners are on the bases. You talk about speed everywhere for KC. Wheat at third, Rodriguez at second, Massey at first. The pitch, and Blackwood takes a strike. 90-mile-per-hour fastball at the inside corner at the knees. There is nothing that Blackwood could do with that pitch. A perfect spot by Philbar. Kansas City, 2 runs on 4 hits. The Saints have 4 runs on 7 hits. A pivotal part of the game here in the bottom of the 5th. Kansas City needs their number 3 hitter to come through here. at least a fly ball to the outfield to drive in a run, and such a pivotal at bat. Phil Barr is going to ask Max Garrett to come out and have a brief conversation with him. The inning all started with a couple of back-to-back walks. Mojica walked, Wheat walked, and then Tyler Moore singled up the middle to load the bases. Starlin Rodriguez then grounded one to the shortstop that appeared to be a double play ball. Tony Thomas dropped it. Luckily, he got the out at second base. He did get an out there, but a run came in to score. And then Tyler Massey has walked on a very, very close 3-2 pitch off the inside corner. Now it's all up to Blackwood. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball is a strike. And Jake has watched 3 pitches, and he is down in the count 1-2. So he has not swung the bat yet. That was a hanging breaking ball, but not a pitch he was expecting. A base hit with the speed out there would more than likely tie the game. The outfield is deep. They would concede a couple of runs on a base hit. The 1-2 pitch and a vicious swing on a fastball fouled straight back. It's still 1-2. You kind of have a feeling this is it for KC. If they have any hopes to win this game, they have got to find a way to at least scratch across one more in this inning, but you would love to see more than that. They have pulled within a couple of runs. It's now 4-2. The 1-2 pitch just barely foul past third. About a half a foot from being a 2-run double. Possibly 3. And now Blackwood will have to continue to battle against one of the best relievers on this Saints squad. Philbar has 1 save as well. He is 2-1. He is the setup man for Ryan Rodabaugh. Rodabaugh, the hard-throwing closer, looming large as this game gets later and later down the stretches. He is almost unhittable. 1-2 pitch and a high pop-up. Will it get out of play? Sanko trying to climb up the steps, and it's a foul ball. Once again, a very nice crowd here tonight. Everybody waiting for the fireworks after the game. Obviously, everybody waiting and anticipating a potential sweep for KC. They've won back-to-back series and now looking for their first sweep of the year. They have not swept anybody in 2016. The Saints, the best team in the league, has already dropped the first 2 of the series. Another 1-2 pitch to Blackwood. Lined into center field. It's going to drop in for a hit. 1 run is in. That's all they're going to get. It's an RBI single for Kansas City. You talk about a jump off of second base. Rodriguez read it perfectly. He almost overran the runner at third and Dalton Wheat. But Dave Schaub aggressively holds him at third base, and Blackwood, after a very lengthy battle, drives in a run with the RBI hit. Rodriguez goes to third. Massey goes to second. The bases still remain loaded, and it's 4-3. So Blackwood with a missile to straightaway center field at 1 hopped in front of Harris. Harris a pretty good arm in center field, and Kansas City still has a lot of runners on base. The pitch. Breaking ball is a strike at the knees. 67-mile-per-hour curveball to get ahead of Gallus. Gallus 0 for 2 in the game. Lined out the left, grounded out to short. Fly ball to the outfield would tie the game. Once again, Kansas City an opportunity where a base hit, they would now take their first lead of the game. We're in the bottom of the 5th in a 7-inning game. Gallus takes a fastball right down the middle, and the count's 0-2. Rodriguez at third, reach on a fielder's choice. Massey is at second. He walked, and Blackwood, the big RBI hit just a moment ago. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt. Great block by the catcher, Garrett, and the count's 1-2. Kansas City right here, an opportunity to have their first and only lead of the game. Most importantly, they need to tie the game. They need to get Gallus to send something to the outfield. Avoid the middle of the diamond. Really scuffling, just batting .213, but a lot of power and a strikeout. Boy, that's a major out here. That never looked like a good at-bat for Anthony Gallus. He has been battled with some injuries this year, and you can tell right now with his at-bats, he has been battling a lot of stuff going on right now with him. He had a monster game on Friday, a couple of home runs, but that is just one of a couple of days now where Gallus has had a great day at the plate. Now you need Vladimir Frias to be another hero. He was the hero of the second game. He drove in 4. Did the majority of the work with 2 outs, which is where he is now, as Gallus couldn't touch the fastball. First pitch, curveball into the dirt, and it counts 1-0. Gallus, being a veteran presence he is on the top step. He wants Vladimir Frias to pick him up. Give Kansas City a chance to take their first lead. 4-3 in favor of the Saints, and the T-Bones have the bases loaded, but now 2 outs. They need Vladimir Frias. The 1-0 pitch is low. Ball 2. Fastball at 88 was low. Frias is the 8th hitter to come to the plate this inning. Thielbar has thrown 22 pitches. He has walked a hitter. He has given up a single, and he has struck out Gallus. The 2-0 is low. Ball 3. And now Kansas City, with another wild one, could tie the game on a bases-loaded walk. And the way that Frias attacks most of his plate appearances, you would have to assume that he will be taking probably 2 pitches. The 3-0 pitch walked him, ball 4. Or I'm off, or I'm not off. Frias acted like it was ball 3. The game is tied. My goodness, you would think if the game was a 1-run game, in a big spot like that, Frias would have been well aware of the count. He was not. However, Kansas City does tie the game on a bases-loaded walk, and Anthony Gallus can now exhale a little bit as the T-Bones have tied it at 4 here in the 5th inning. So it's been a 3-run inning. Rodriguez comes in to score. Massey goes to 3rd. Blackwood goes to 2nd. The T-Bones have sent all 9 batters to the plate in this inning. It's now tied at 4. Can the T-Bones scratch across another hit? Lefty-lefty matchup as Wiley steps in, and the first pitch is at the knees. Perfectly placed, 88-mile-per-hour fastball. So each team kind of exchanging innings. KC trailed by 1 after the first, tied it in the second. Ground ball left side into left field for a hit. 1 run is in. Blackwood to 3rd. Kansas City has taken the lead. 5-4 Kansas City as Wiley singles to the left side. Blackwood held at 3rd base as Massey comes in to score. Wiley has an RBI hit, and the T-Bones have now batted completely around. And the guy who started the inning, Jimmy Mojica, who walked and scored, is back up for his second opportunity. It's now 5-4 Kansas City. Blackwood goes to 3rd, Frias up to 2nd. And the T-Bones are just going 90 feet per batter. They have now scored 4 runs in the 5th, and they've done it against the setup man, Caleb Thielbar. First pitch to Mojica, and he takes low for a ball. A 4-run 5th inning. Kansas City has 5 runs on 6 hits. In this inning, Kansas City has taken advantage of 3 walks. All 3 of those walks have turned into runs. The 1-0 pitch, big vicious swing. Mojica looking for his first home run of the season, and the count is 1-1. There is nobody warming in the bullpen for the Saints. Interestingly enough, as the game is now ahead for KC, nobody warming in the T-Bones bullpen. So possibly Zawacki again in the 6th. Count 1 ball, 1 strike on Mojica. Bases still loaded. The pitch on the way, and a big swing again and a foul ball. And the count's 1-2. Mojica, a fastball swing on a changeup. Dalton Wheat would bat next if Mojica can get on twice in the same inning. Thielbar has now coming close to 30 pitches. 1-2 pitch, another vicious swing. That one at 93 by Thielbar. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Thilbar set again. The pitch. Breaking ball got him looking on the inside corner. So the inning over. Kansas City strands the bases loaded, but they do plate 4 in the 5th. We head to the 6th. Kansas City has their first lead of the game. They lead it 5-4. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We head to the 6th inning. Brand new ball game. Kansas City has their first lead of the game, and it came because of their left-handed reliever. Caleb Thielbar comes in with a 3-run lead. He came in with runners at first and second, nobody out, but then just absolutely fell apart. And once again, Tony Thomas, a very good shortstop, one of the best in the league because of his ability to hit the long ball, have a great offensive campaign year after year. But another double play ball that he had at shortstop, he only got one, and of course that extended the inning as Kansas City scored 4 in the 5th. And now it's up to Kansas City's bullpen even deeper as Johnny Shuttlesworth comes in. 6.27 ERA, 2-2 record. This will be his 14th appearance, and 9 of these have come out of the bullpen. 33 innings pitched, ground ball to the shortstop. Frias has it, bobbles it, needs a scoop. Blackwood can't scoop it. So Frias will start the 6th inning off with an E6 to the number 7 batter, Chad Christensen. That is not how Kansas City envisioned the 6th inning to begin. So only 2 errors in the game. 1 to Frias, 1 to Blackwood, and there you have it. Saints already have a runner on in the 6th inning against the reliever Johnny Shuttlesworth, even though that was not his problem. Now you have the number 8 hitter, Max Garrett, the catcher who hit a 2-run home run in the 4th inning with 2 outs. The pitch, breaking ball strike, and the count's 0-1. Double play candidate, defense looking for a double play. Fireworks continue to explode behind the center field fence. We will have fireworks of our own after this game, hopefully celebratory fireworks as well as the scheduled July 3rd fireworks. This pitch is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shuttlesworth in his first year in Kansas City, 6'1", 220-pounder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A leadoff error has now been 2 errors in the game for Kansas City, who played error-free in the second game of the series. Almost hit him. Curveball never broke. 2 balls and a strike. Kansas City, who just scored 4 in the 5th, have got to find a way to not commit the cardinal sin of baseball and allowing the other team to come right back into the game. The 2-1 pitch, a high fly ball, and I mean a mile into the air. Frias Mojica nearing the fence. It's about 12 rows out of play, and the count's now 2-2. Kansas City trailed 1-0 after the first, tied it in the second. The Saints took a 3-run lead in the fourth. Kansas City then took a 1-run lead after scoring 4 in the fifth. That's where we are, 5-4 KC in the top of the sixth inning. But Kansas City has committed an error to lead off the sixth inning, so the tying run is on base, free of charge. And now Shuttlesworth has to find a way to work around the error. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 3-2. Number 9 hitter, second baseman Sam Moss, is the next scheduled hitter. But as we've turned into a 1-run game late in the game with a 7-inning game on tap for this night, probably might not see Sam Moss. 3-2 count. Will the runner go? Shuttlesworth checks on him. He does not run, and a foul ball. Zawacki in the fifth inning threw 30 pitches. He walked 2, did not give up a hit, and got an inning-ending double play on a pop-out by Alonzo Harris that took a phenomenal play by Brett Wiley. Then Shuttlesworth comes in, gets a routine ground ball to short, and Frias bobbled it in his glove, threw low, and then Blackwood couldn't pick it. 3-2 pitch, and he walked him, and a 1 goes back to the backstop. So you talk about the worst way in the world to start the sixth after your offense gave you the lead. An error and now a walk. And unfortunately, you're playing the best team in the league in regards to record. You can't afford to give a team this many free breaks. First and second, nobody out, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Sam Moss, who if he does anything but bunt, it would be absolutely mind-boggling at this point. They've just announced the announced attendance tonight. 5,825 Kansas City T-Bones faithful at the Community America Ballpark tonight. Big number. A packed house here tonight. A leadoff error followed by a walk. 2 free passes in a 1-run game. Not at all how anybody in that T-Bones dugout was expecting. Now you need a big out. Sam Moss has struck out twice. Once again, if he does anything but bunt, it would be mind-boggling. First pitch shows a bunt, pops it up down the third base line. Mojica's only play is to first. They get the out there, but everybody else moves up. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that that bunt was coming. After 2 free passes, the Saints are knocking on the door to reclaim a tie game or perhaps reclaim their lead. The infield right now is set up in. Top of the order, Brady Brzezinski is up. He is 1 for 3. He scored on an error in the first inning. He's also singled. He is 1 for 3. Middle of the infield is back. The corner infielders are in. Runner at third base is Christensen. He reached with an error. The catcher, Garrett, is at second. He walked. First pitch to Brzezinski is a high strike, and the count's 0-1. Brady Brzezinski checking in with the home plate umpire, Brian Child, is talking about the strike zone, as was the third base coach, which just so happens to be the manager, George Samus. The 0-1 pitch is a pop foul, and the count's 0-2. If Johnny Shuttlesworth could harness right here the best pitch of his evening and could get a possible strikeout, it could completely flip this inning upside down. Top of the sixth, 5-4 Kansas City. Runners at second and third, 1 out. And you have the top of the order at the plate. Kansas City needs an out, a strikeout preferably. Shuttlesworth coming in trying to protect a 1-run lead, trying to protect what the Saints would like to call a blown save in the sixth inning. The 0-2 pitch. Line drive into center field. It's going to fall in for a hit. 1 run is in. The game is tied, and the T-Bones error turns into a run, and the game is tied. So right after your offense puts up 4, the defense unravels, and that walk obviously is very detrimental, and the bullpen has given the lead right back. So the leadoff error turns into a run. Garrett goes to third, and now runners are on the corners, still just 1 out for the right fielder, Breland Almadova. You cannot give teams 5-6 outs an inning. It is not going to be a winning formula. Kansas City got a routine ground ball to short, and the most defensive guru in the league, Frias, committed an error. Safety squeeze was on. The bunt was missed. And unfortunately, Kansas City did not see that bunt get down, and the lead would have been gone. It would have been a lead for the Saints. 5-5 tie, top of the 6th. An error has turned into a run for the second time in the game. So 2 errors have resulted in 2 unearned runs. Now the pitch. Ground ball to short. Might be a double play ball. Out at second. Back to first. Low throw. And Blackwood can't pick it. The ball is just rolling around on the infield, and Almadova goes to second base. Boy, this inning has just turned into a defensive nightmare for Kansas City. Wiley couldn't get the ball out of his glove, and when he finally did, he just snapped it straight into the ground, and Blackwood had no chance to field it. And Kansas City's defense has committed their 3rd error of the game, 2nd in the inning, and another unearned run comes across to bite them. So Garrett comes in to score. Brzezinski out at second base. Almadova goes to second. A 4-run inning by the offense is erased as Saints come right back with 2 of their own and now lead at 6-5. And the bullpen has given the lead immediately away with the help of the defense. An E6 and a walk have both turned into runs. So instead of the inning being over with nothing across the plate, 2 runs have scored, and it's now 6-5, and 2 outs are on the inning. Now you have to deal with Hansen. Ground ball to short. Frias down to a knee. Throws to first. Low throw again. This time Blackwood fields it, and the inning is over. You can't write a script for giving away runs any better than that. 2 runs in the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Kansas City trails again, 6-5 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Nathan Moore back with you. Kansas City trails again immediately after scoring 4 runs on the offensive end. Their defense gives away 2 more. Coming into tonight, Kansas City in the division or in the league ranked 8 in fielding percentage at .974. They've committed 3 more errors in this game and might be ranked last before the night is over if they don't watch out. The Redhawks at .966. They are 8 points behind Kansas City. And the defense, mainly the reason why Kansas City right now is 18-24. They make some of the most dazzling defensive plays in the league and then Some of the routine plays are turned into the most head-scratching plays. Now they will have to try to have a short-term memory and get right back into the game. Dalton Wheat immediately down to the count 0-2. So an extreme high to an extreme low. Kansas City scored 4 runs against one of the best setup men in the league. Scored 4 in the 5th, but the defense and the bullpen giving away 2 in the 6th. The 0-2 pitch. Wheat, ground ball to short. Thomas has it, and he throws a perfect chest-high throw to first. There is an out. 1 up, 1 down for Tyler Moore. The infield has spiked 5 baseballs to Blackwood in this game. He has not been able to corral them all the time, which you shouldn't have to at first. You should have some baseballs thrown to your chest. But in this game especially, the middle infield has had issues getting him the baseball, and they have turned into errors. Kansas City had an E3 in the first inning. Blackwood tried to get one on a high hop and had it glance off of his glove. That turned into a run in the first. So we're talking about 3 runs that shouldn't be on the scoreboard. Instead of a 6-5 deficit, it should be a 5-3 lead. Now a line drive into left field. Tyler Moore wants to win a game. He singles. Back-to-back innings in which he singles. So the young rookie catcher does not want to lose tonight. Now back to the top of the order. Left fielder Starlin Rodriguez comes up. He is 0 for 3. He has driven in a run. He has also scored a run. Tyler Massey will follow, and then Jake Blackwood beyond him. 6-5 lead for the Saints. They've scored 1 in the first, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. Kansas City has the tying runner on base, and they have obviously what represents the go-ahead runner at the plate. All of a sudden, the level swing approaches has gone out the window. Kansas City hitters are now looking for home runs. Rodriguez with a gigantic uppercut swing, and he missed everything. Rodriguez with 2 home runs on the year, so he's not a home run hitter per se. Another uppercut swing. Just to recap, Kansas City has not hit a home run in this game. They have scored 5 runs. A home run did not get Kansas City back into the game. A home run swing could definitely lose a game for you if you're Kansas City. They do not need a home run. They need level swing approach. Off the inside corner, 1-2. Thielbar has thrown 39 pitches in an inning and a third. You can better imagine that Rodabaugh is warming up. He is the hard-throwing closer. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, according to Jordan Sandberg at first. And the count is now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Starlin Rodriguez is a singles gap power hitter. He needs to stay with that approach. A double here would tie the game. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Thomas has it. Over to second, out. Back to first. Low throw. And Sanko scoops it. And the inning is over. So Kansas City gets a 1-out single. Rodriguez grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. And the T-Bones have gone from one level to the next in the span of an inning. We head to the 7th. 6-5 deficit on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I love loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid. The familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We have made it to the 7th inning, final inning of a 7-inning game, of course. Shuttlesworth back out to pitch the 7th. He gave up 2 runs in the 6th inning. Right now he is on the hook for the decision for Kansas City if the offense can't come back and rally. 6-5 lead for the Saints. Final game of the homestand, final game of the series. Shuttlesworth 0-1 pitch to Sanko is right there for a strike. 4, 5, 6 hitters, Sanko, Thomas, Harris. Up to the plate in this inning for St. Paul. It is the only time the rest of the year that Kansas City will see St. Paul. Usually the Saints are in town in the month of August, but not this year. They come much earlier in the season. This pitch is fouled away, 0-2. If Kansas City does not rally in this game in the 7th inning, it will be one of the more disappointing losses of the year in regards to the way that this game has completely turned around. The 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. Sanko strikes out. The throw to first is in time. And Sanko is out for just the second time tonight. That will bring up the shortstop, Tony Thomas, who is 2 for 2. He's also walked. He has doubled and scored. He's also singled in a run back in the 1st inning. And you have to wonder with the game before this one, the second game of the series, Kansas City had that 6-3 win. That if the T-Bones realized how close this game would have been, if they would have changed their game planning with the bullpen in the first frame, and first game, obviously, as this one is a lot closer. Nobody warming up behind Shuttlesworth. Here is the 0-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss. So Shuttlesworth having some pitches work to his fashion, and he jumps ahead of a dangerous Thomas, 0-2. Had Aaron Baker been the Aaron Baker we saw last year, and he's slowly becoming into that form. He's starting to get a rhythm as Tony Thomas is going to hit one 6,000 feet for a home run. So Tony Thomas is going to hit a home run, and Shuttlesworth has given up his 3rd run in an inning and a 3rd. And now all of a sudden it is a 7-5 lead for the Saints. But Aaron Baker, one of the more dominant closers of last year. And as a tie game going into the 6th inning, Baker did not pitch yesterday, nor did he pitch in the game 2 that finished today. And you just kind of wonder if something might have been wrong with Baker for him not to pitch that 6th inning. Typically, for a closer, a setup man, you're going into those late innings. Kansas City had the lead, and Aaron Baker never came out of the bullpen area. So Shuttlesworth trying to pitch 2 innings. So it could be a possibility where Baker wasn't available. 1-0 pitch to strike. Or it could have been that Kansas City felt like Shuttlesworth just flat out was the better option in a 1-run lead in the 6th. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and the count's 1-2. So on an 0-2 pitch, Tony Thomas hit one that hit target sign in left field. Obviously, when you have an 0-2 pitch, you can imagine that is not where Shuttlesworth wanted the ball at. And now he gets a strikeout of Alonzo Harris. Tag is applied, and now 2 outs are in.
Yeah, you mentioned, Nate, hitting target sign. I'm not sure that it didn't make it to target field.
That was a moonshot.
It was.
And not a perfect time to see one of those.
Well, and not the perfect team to see it from.
Correct. They are a home run hitting team. Tony Thomas, who isn't the best defensive shortstop, but he can hit the baseball a long way, and as does Chad Christensen. He sends one all the way back to the center field warning track, but Tyler Massey runs it down. So the inning is over, but another big run comes across to score, and the T-Bones, if they want their first sweep of the year, they will have to do it, more than likely against Rodabaugh, who will be coming in out of the bullpen. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Country Inn and Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn and Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We head to the bottom of the seventh inning. Kansas City trailing by 2 now. It's now 7-5. Rodabaugh will come in to pitch for the Saints. Rodabaugh, one of the best closers in the league, 6 foot, 195-pound right-hander. He has a lot of velocity. Rodabaugh, 18th game, 1-1 record, 1.50 ERA. He's allowed just 14 hits in 18 innings. He is looking for his 11th save. He's already got 10. He's allowed just 3 earned runs in 18 innings. But Kansas City has the heart of their order coming to the plate. 2, 3, 4 batters, Massey, Blackwood, and Gallus. If Kansas City has a base runner, they would have a chance. They trail by 2. 1-0 pitch. Strike on the inside corner, 86 miles an hour, and the count's even 1-1. Tomorrow morning at approximately 8 a.m., Kansas City will head to Sioux Falls. 3 games against the Canaries. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Big breaking ball, missed inside, 2-1. If Kansas City, even if they don't come back in this game, they would have won their second consecutive series. They took 2 out of 3 from Lincoln. They've already taken the first 2 in this series. They will be looking for the 3rd consecutive series win for the first time this year. 2-1 pitch. It's a pop foul out of play. That counts 2-2. Massey 0 for 2. Walked and scored in the 5th inning. That was the big inning for Kansas City. They scored 4 runs, and they did it with just 2 hits. Check that, 3 hits. 2 of them stayed on the infield. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Rodabaugh gives up a line drive right to the second baseman, Moss. That one was absolutely smoked, but Massey is out for the first out of the 7th inning, and now Kansas City down to their final 2 outs. Blackwood 2 for 3. Gallus is 0 for 3. Those are the next 2 options. And these are 2 very capable hitters, where one swing of the bat amongst the both of them, and the game could be tied. But the easier factor would be to just get Blackwood on and then allow Gallus a chance to do that. The shift in the 7th inning is a lot less drastic than it was his last time up. Breaking ball misses outside. So you go from a 90-mile-per-hour fastball to a 69-mile-per-hour curveball. We saw Rodabaugh quite a bit in St. Paul. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Way inside, it's 2-0. So back-to-back hitters, Rodabaugh has fallen behind 2-0. You just need one base runner for an opportunity. One base runner for a chance. That 1 run in the 7th inning is very, very big. 2-0 pitch is a fastball strike, 2-1. Shuttlesworth has given up 3 and 2 innings. That is the deciding factor of the game. However, errors. Kansas City's defense has really cost them dearly in this game. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball, strike. And the count's 2-2. That caught a lot of the play. That is not where Rodabaugh wanted it. He hung it high in the zone, and Blackwood took it for a strike, 2-2. A base runner to allow Gallus to tie it. That's what Kansas City's looking for. The 2-2 pitch is a foul ball. Blackwood just did everything he could to stay alive. And the count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are empty. We are in the 7th, final inning of the game. 2-2 pitch again. Check swing. Blackwood did not go. Boy, that's a mercy call. Blackwood was so for sure that he went. He pretty much took 5 steps back to the dugout. But at least for one more pitch, Blackwood stays alive. You know, I think it would have been a fun statistic to have counted how many check swing strikes were called this year. I haven't seen very many. Luckily, we haven't needed them against Kansas City hitters. Full count, Rodabaugh trying to get a dangerous hitter out. 3-2 pitch, and he struck him out, so the result's still the same. Rodabaugh has faced 2. He has retired both. And now Kansas City is down to their final out. Anthony Gallus 0 for 3. He has lined out, he's grounded out, he has also struck out. Gallus, if he gets on, then Frias would have a chance, but Kansas City has to have a base runner. No way around it. First pitch on the way, breaking ball, strike. All 3 batters have had a first pitch breaking ball to their plate appearance. Massey took one for a strike. Gallus took one for a strike. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Change up in the dirt, and it counts 0-2. And Gallus has 1 pitch left to work with, and he is really right now confidently appearing a little bit more lack of confidence at the plate, especially, which is somewhat concerning after a huge night on Friday, but he did not have a good game, too. He has struggled badly in this game at the plate. His average has tumbled down to .211. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. The pitch from Rodabaugh on the way, and it's a fastball high, 2-2. If the Saints have a questionable area on their team, it would be their bullpen, but Rodabaugh, one of the best. This breaking ball stays high. And the count has gone full, 3-2. So Kansas City, once again, a batter at the plate with a full count. They trail by 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Final game of the game. Now the 3-2 pitch. Rodabaugh misses high and inside, ball 4. So now Kansas City has their chance. Vladimir Frias, who had a 4 RBI game 2, comes to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with an RBI walk in this game. That came with 2 outs in the 5th inning. That opened the door for a big inning. Frias has the power to tie the game with 1 swing. He only has 2 home runs this year. A contact hitter against good velocity. Rodabaugh will be nearing 20 pitches, and he throws a first pitch strike. 88-mile-per-hour fastball on the outside corner. That was the 19th pitch of the inning for Rodabaugh as he works with 2 outs in the 7th, trying to get his 11th save of the year. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Big swing and a miss, and Frias way behind the 87-mile-per-hour cut fastball, and the count's 0-2, and Kansas City down to their final strike, perhaps. Kansas City took the lead in the 5th. The Saints have scored 3 unanswered to reclaim the lead. Way outside, 1-2. The Saints have really had to extend Thielbar tonight in regards to pitches, and now their closer has a lot of pitches, but he gets the job done. Vladimir Frias strikes out. Kansas City strikes out 2 times in the 7th, and the game has come to a conclusion. The Saints improved to 29-15. Thielbar, believe it or not, gets the blown save, then picks up the win out of the bullpen. For Kansas City, Johnny Shuttlesworth takes the loss. Shuttlesworth now falls to 2-3 as he allows 3 runs in 2 innings. Kansas City wins their 2nd consecutive series, 2-1. They now take off for a 3-game road trip in Sioux Falls beginning at 7:05 tomorrow night. All 3 games, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, at 7:05 in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Kansas City looking for their 3rd consecutive series win. That has not happened this year. With the loss, Kansas City falls to 18-25. The Saints improve to 29-15. Total attendance again tonight, 5,825. Make sure to check out tbonesbaseball.com for any upcoming ticket options available, obviously, for July 7th, 8th, and 9th, next upcoming 3-game homestand here at Community America Ballpark. Easiest, most convenient way to get your tickets by going to tbonesbaseball.com. For Matt Folks, for Charlie Folks, I'm Nathan Moore saying so long from Community America Ballpark. T-Bones fall Game 3 of the series and a final score of 7-5. You've been listening to the Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at tbonesbaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.